Miko Yotsuya is just an ordinary high school girl. But recently, she's been seeing strange things, like a dog barking at nothing, or a handprint appearing on her bathroom mirror. At school, she spends most of her time with her best friend, Hana Yurikawa, whose figure is enough to make the other girls jealous. But today feels off. First, there was a weird noise in the bathroom. Then, a ball rolling across the gym floor on its own. Distracted by all this, Miko doesn't notice when Hana sneaks a bite of her lunch. Later, on her way home, she realizes her favorite keychain is missing. So she retraces her steps to look for it. Even though schools at night in Japan are often thought to be haunted, she doesn't really mind. She finds the keychain and gets ready to leave. But while waiting at the bus stop, she drops her phone. As she bends down to pick it up, a horrifying creature suddenly appears, staring right at her, asking if she can see it. Miko is petrified with fear, but forces herself to act like she doesn't notice. After a tense moment, the cadaverous figure finally disappears. When she gets home, still shaken, another ghost appears inside her bathroom. She tries to pretend she doesn't notice, but this time the spirit doesn't leave. Desperate, she grabs some salt from the kitchen, hoping it might work. Thinking she'll just have a nightmare, she goes to bed but soon realizes the nightmare is already there, pressed up against her stomach. She faints in terror and convinces herself it was just a bad dream. The next morning, the strange handprint on the bathroom mirror is gone. Everything seems fine, until another monster appears. These creatures always ask if she can see them, and sensing that something terrible will happen if they find out the truth, Miko does her best to keep a poker face, even while trembling in fear. In class, something crawls out of Hana's desk, so Miko pretends to feel sick and asks her friend to take her to the nurse's office. But the grotesque spirit follows them. Miko even tries spraying alcohol, as if the ghost was some kind of germ, but it doesn't work. When the nurse arrives, she thinks the two girls are just skipping class and sends them back. By some miracle, the ghost latches onto the nurse instead, letting them escape. Miko is relieved, but oddly frustrated that the ghost didn't try to grab her. On the way home, Hana wants to stop at a diner. But before they get there, they find a stray kitten. Worried, they post its picture online hoping someone will adopt it. A refined-looking man shows up to take the cat, but Miko sees dozens of angry cat spirits surrounding him and refuses to hand it over. Instead, she gives the kitten to a rough-looking man who seems like a gangster, only to notice he's surrounded by blessed spirits with two tails, showing he truly loves cats. So, what did we learn today, kids? Don't judge people by appearances. The next day, Hana invites Miko out again. On the way, Miko almost gives herself away to another ghost that tries to stop her from pressing the bus stop button. While waiting for Hana, she notices a handsome guy, but he's being haunted by what looks like his ex-girlfriend. He mistakes Miko's glance for interest and starts flirting, which draws the ghost's attention. In desperation, Miko pretends to like muscular men, distracting the spirit. The guy keeps hitting on her, but she ignores him, acting like he's a ghost too. His real girlfriend shows up soon after, followed by jealous spirits of her own. Miko can't help but think the two cheaters deserve each other. Later, Miko buys 4 Buddhist prayer beads, hoping they'll protect her from spirits. She gives 2 to Hana, afraid another ghost might try to touch her again. But when Hana wants to take a shortcut through a dark alley full of ghosts, the beads work until a stronger spirit shatters them. To avoid suspicion, Miko has no choice but to walk straight through the creature. To comfort Hana, she takes her to a famous fortune teller known as the Godmother. This old woman does have real powers, but has spent years scamming people who can see spirits. Assuming kids don't have much money, she gives Miko a cheap prayer bead, but it immediately breaks. Shocked, the Godmother looks closer and sees a dark smoke behind Miko, that same powerful spirit from before. She also notices Hana has an incredible aura that draws ghosts, though it's strong enough to keep them from harming her. Out of pity for Miko, the fortune teller gives up her most powerful artifact, which also shatters instantly. Horrified, the Godmother retires on the spot. Miko keeps trying to deal with her new life surrounded by monsters. She goes to buy a limited edition pudding she missed last year, only to find even the shopkeeper is a ghost. The next morning, she's excited to finally eat the pudding, until she sees a terrifying sight at breakfast. Her family has been worried about her lately. They even ask about the pudding in the fridge. Last year, her dad accidentally ate it, which caused a big fight. But when he asks about it again, it's revealed he was actually a ghost all along. In Buddhism and Shinto, it's common to leave food for the dead, so her father doesn't seem to realize she can see him. Still, he's happy they could make peace over last year's pudding. Before school, another twist, a girl from Miko's school wants to become the godmother's apprentice. Her name is Yuria Nigirido, and she's been able to see spirits since childhood. Dreaming of becoming a powerful exorcist, she's shocked to find the godmother's shop closed. Because of a misunderstanding, she believes Miko is so powerful that the godmother had to retire. Realizing Miko can also see spirits, she confronts her, but Miko insists she can't see them. It becomes clear Yuria can only see weaker spirits. While pressing her about it, Yuria accidentally draws the attention of the terrifying giant ghost. In panic, Miko puts her in a chokehold to shut her up. When Yuria wakes up in the nurse's office, she thinks Miko tried to kill her. Miko apologizes, telling her it's better to pretend not to see spirits. But Yuria misunderstands, believing Miko is threatening her to stay quiet. On her way home, Miko gets grabbed by another ghost, but it turns out to be just an old lady. With memory problems, she can't find her way home, so Miko helps her. Outside her house, another ghost keeps repeating the numbers of 4631. They turn out to be the code to a safe holding a gift from the old lady's late husband. When she opens it and finds a comb, she recovers her memories. The ghost thanks Miko and vanishes. The next day after school, Miko and Hannah head to a pastry shop. But on the way, they encounter an incredibly dangerous-looking ghost. Luckily, Hannah is easily distracted back into buying more cake. Another day passes. Hannah prepares for a day out with Miko, but strange things happen in her house, the lights flicker, and a terrifying creature stalks her. It seems Hannah's insatiable hunger comes from her powerful aura, which shines even brighter when she eats. She meets a boy who lost his dog, and while helping him, enters a haunted building. She finds the dog, but the monstrous spirit has been devouring so many smaller ghosts that it's become something far worse. Abandoning their movie plans, Miko drags Hannah to an old Shinto shrine said to be very powerful. She prays for protection, and two shrine maiden spirits appear. They clash with the monster in an intense battle, while Hannah, completely unaware, chats about Studio Ghibli movies. The monster is too strong, devours the shrine maidens, and the episode ends here. But just as the girls take a commemorative photo, a giant being appears and destroys the monster once and for all. The shrine spirits are revived and start speaking an alien language. Miko is about to lose her patience when the god says only 3 words, 3 times, and disappears. The photo the girls took at the shrine becomes very popular on social media. Hannah decides she might have a natural talent for photography and wants to become a photographer. Yulia, still remembering how Miko once humiliated her, butts into the conversation and suggests visiting a place with a great view for pictures. When they arrive, Yulia reveals that they'll have to cross a haunted tunnel to reach the spot. As expected, the tunnel is full of spirits. Yulia hopes this will force Miko to admit she can see them. But what Yulia doesn't notice is the stronger ghost lurking nearby. It begins devouring the weaker spirits, and Yulia mistakenly believes Miko is exorcising them. Even though Miko insists they should leave, Yulia keeps provoking the situation until the monster finally notices them. Luckily, the shrine spirits appear at the last moment, giving the girls a chance to escape. On the way back, Hannah takes a picture of the 3 of them together. Yulia, who has always felt like an outcast, is touched to finally feel included in a friendship. The next day, Miko and her brother Kaisuk go to the mall to buy a birthday gift for their mother. Despite running into a haunted store clerk, they manage to buy a pair of mugs. On the train ride home, they encounter a ghost carrying an axe, swinging it wildly at passengers. Though it passes through everyone without harming them, Miko is horrified when she sees another spirit being caught and chopped down. She manages to keep her composure when the X-Man comes for her, but afterward she loses control of her bladder and has to leave the train to clean up. Later, Miko and Hannah help their teacher load things into her car since she's about to go on maternity leave. Miko notices a ghost haunting her teacher's belly. The teacher reveals this is her second pregnancy attempt, as the first one ended in miscarriage. Miko realizes the spirit is actually the unborn sibling, protecting both the mother and her new baby to ensure this pregnancy succeeds. That night, Miko questions why she can see spirits at all, whether she should help them or confront them. But after witnessing another horror near a vending machine, she decides it's better to just keep ignoring them. The next morning, when the substitute teacher arrives, Miko is shocked to see it's Zentono, the man previously shown being haunted by dozens of vengeful cat spirits. Trying to avoid Zen and the spirits surrounding him, Miko accidentally stumbles upon Yulia eating alone in the bathroom. Because a grotesque ghost is also lurking there, Miko warns her to stop eating in that place. Hannah then suggests Yulia join them for lunch instead. Later, Miko watches Zen from afar, when suddenly a massive spirit appears and threatens her, warning her not to look at it. The next day, Zen is at home when his neighbor tells him someone has been abusing kittens in the neighborhood. All signs point to him. In class, Miko can't focus because the enormous spirit keeps circling the students, shouting, "Don't look at me." When things seem hopeless, Hannah suddenly complains of hunger. Miko takes the opportunity to escort her to the nurse's office. Miko begins to suspect the spirits haunting Zen are interfering with Hannah's aura, making her hungrier than usual. After school, while walking with Hannah, Miko accidentally responds to a spirit disguised as a human. The shrine maidens appear again to save her. Only then does Miko understand the numbers they've been repeating indicate how many times they will protect her. She realizes she now only has one protection left. That night, a man approaches a kitten intending to harm it, but flees when two students walk by. A flashback reveals that Zen grew up with an extremely abusive mother. In the present, Miko follows him, hoping to catch him doing something bad so he'll be expelled. She sees him pick up a stray kitten. Fearing for its safety, she intervenes and runs off with it. But the cat escapes from her arms and runs into the street. Zen throws himself in front of a car to save it. Another flashback shows young Zen secretly adopting a kitten, only for his mother to find it and destroy it, scarring him for life. At the hospital, he explains he's actually been searching for the criminal harming cats. Unfortunately, he only ever arrives too late, finding injured or dead cats, which explains the spirits haunting him. A veterinarian friend visits and tells Miko more about Zen's childhood. She connects the dots and realizes the monstrous spirit haunting him is actually the ghost of his abusive mother. Miko provokes the entity, and when it attacks, the shrine maidens intervene once again, using up all three of her protections. After his mother's spirit is exorcised, Zen feels relief, no longer tormented by the abomination. The cat spirits around him also begin to rest in peace, including the first kitten he adopted as a child. Later, Zen adopts the kitten he saved from the accident, and he also manages to catch the real culprit abusing cats, stopping him with the taser. Far from the city, the retired godmother receives an anonymous letter containing the photo from the shrine. Seeing it deeply unsettles her. Coincidentally, Miko decides to visit the shrine to thank the deities for protecting her. She makes an offering, but the spirits seem angered. She offers more and more, only making things worse. Just as she's about to be devoured, she wakes up in her bed. It was all a nightmare. Yet as she walks with her friends, the shrine spirits can still be seen watching her from afar. And so ends the first season of Mieruko-chan. Don't forget to subscribe to catch the next episodes. See you next time.